question is, how much of your YouTube time is taken by ASMR videos? You can give me your honest answers, or you can simply ignore my questions in case they are too personal or too straightforward or whatever. Well, I will write your answers really quickly. I need that information, okay? I can't remember all of it, so it's better if I take some notes in the process. Well, another question is, would you rather have one best friend like BFF, or would you rather have a lot of friends, acquaintances, but not that close? So do you rather prefer quality or quantity? Well, that's fair enough. Regarding the topic of best friend, what qualities do you value the most in the person who you think is your best friend? Would it take me long to become your friend? How easy it is to make friends with you? Are you a really outgoing person, or are you rather reserved? Got it. Well, alright, then the other question, I'm not even sure, maybe I have already asked it in some of my other videos, but are you rather a dog or a cat person? What kind of pets do you actually prefer? I think that maybe the options are not just dogs or cats. I would give you a wider choice, so you can tell me whatever pet seems to be perfect for you in particular. What do you think? Actually, adopting a pet isn't a big responsibility. And are you a responsible person? Do you consider yourself responsible at least? Alright. Got it. Well, anyway, then talking about yourself and the way you see yourself. When was the latest time when you were impressed with yourself? When there was something that actually impressed you, about yourself exactly. Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Good. That sounds great. Alright. Then, your favorite sauce to dip the fries in? It's a silly question, but I guess that now we have such a wide range of different kinds of spices, sauces, and other stuff that different kinds of dips. So, okay, got it. I think I need to try that one. Well, then going back to your personality, like these deeper, more profound questions, I wanted to ask you, is there any secrets that you would be really embarrassed to tell to literally anybody? Okay. Yeah, I guess we all have something that we can be embarrassed to share with others, or even ashamed or whatever, but I guess that it's totally normal to have those dirty little secrets. But do you have one? Or maybe even more than one? I don't judge you. Okay. walls and like taking this hot bath and listening to some ASMR, for example. So for you, how easy it is to fall asleep, and can you actually do it anywhere? Have you ever fallen asleep on some public transport? Alright, well, if you could choose another century to be born in, what epoch, what century would it be? Well, I like your choice, but you know, I guess that for me personally, there's no better time than now. So, but if I could, I would definitely be happy to try living in like different epochs, different centuries, maybe in different countries as well, just to try it. But I guess that very often we kind of like overestimate the situation, and I definitely wouldn't be happy to be like some kind of I don't know, like just a farmer in the medieval ages. Every time when you think about living in some other epoch, you somehow start thinking of belonging to some royalty, like whatever, some like noble families and stuff. But it can be actually much worse. So I wouldn't be happy to like live in the village or like even in the town of the medieval ages. No, it's not for me. Well, anyway, then okay, I asked you that stuff and that stuff already as well. Which fiction book made a big impact on you as a person and on your life in general? Well, maybe let's say not book only. It can be a movie. If you're not that into reading, it's alright. If you could choose to be any fictional character, what character would it be? Well, that's a tough question to answer for me personally. But when I think about it, I do have a few options. And what about you? Alright, then another thing, your favorite music album of all time. I would never be able to answer this question because I'm so much into music, but it would be really, really hard for me to choose one because I love like different genres and music styles and different bands and singers and so on. I guess that it would be really, really challenging for me to choose just one album. But if you can, I would be happy to hear your opinion. Alright. The best compliment you've ever said to somebody, you've ever given to somebody. Are you actually a generous person when it comes to compliments? And another question is, would you give a compliment to somebody if it's not completely sincere, if it's not completely honest, like if it's not exactly what you think? And when it comes to accepting compliments given to you, how good are you at it? Because there are some people for whom it would be rather hard to kind of like deal with that. I know some people who would say that, like for example, when you compliment them on their dress or something, they would tell, oh no, no, but it's an old one, like this dress, it's not even that stylish, blah 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 blah. So instead of just saying, oh, like thank you, I know it's gorgeous, right? So what about you? How well, how good are you at actually accepting compliments when other people tell you some nice things? Alright, what would be your reaction if you know that this compliment wasn't like completely sincere? Yeah, and all these pretty lies and stuff. I'm not a big fan of like having this like flatter towards me when people say some nice things, but I know they don't really mean it. So, but I come across such stuff quite rarely, so can't really judge. Okay, how many things are you proud of? Yeah, when it comes to some of your achievements, let's think of three, at least three things you are actually proud of. Okay, that's quite impressive. Good. What would be your favorite childhood movie or show or cartoon, like whatever? And what character again did you want to be when you were a child? Did you used to have imaginary friends when you were a child? Maybe you still do. What do you think? Why would people actually make these imaginary friends for themselves? Especially kids, I guess it's most frequent with kids. And what's the reason why? Just in your opinion. I know that there are some kind of like reasons explained by psychologists and psychiatrists and stuff like that, but when it comes to you, to like what you think. Alright. Then, what is the naughtiest thing you've ever done? I want to hear something really naughty. I mean, like, surprise me. So naughty. Wow. Okay. Have you ever done any evil stuff? Like, have you ever been really, really mean to somebody on purpose? Or maybe some other things? stuff like that. All these tiny details that you might not pay attention to when you watch something for the first time, or when you simply are not very familiar with the topic itself, like how the movies are created and stuff. But there's a movie that I would rewatch every single year. Usually it's around Christmas, New Year, when I have a little bit more free time. And that would be The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I do love Tolkien, and the films are amazing as well. Alright, well, so it feels like I'm talking to myself, answering my own questions, but I thought it might be interesting for you to know my opinion regarding some of them. Well, do you always pay attention to the lyrics while you're listening to some music? Okay. For me, it really depends on the language, because I guess when it's your first language or in the second language, you will definitely pay a bit more attention to the lyrics, even with the third one. But if you are not really fluent in some language, or you're only learning it, you've just started to learn it, or you don't know this language at all, then in this case, you just listen to the music itself. Alright, well, that's why usually when I'm studying or working, I prefer to turn on some music in the language that is not that familiar to me. Okay, anyway, then the next one. What is the most appetizing color in your opinion? I know that the owners of the restaurants often use these little tricks and the color scheme of the interior to make you feel even more hungry than you actually are. So I guess that there are some colors that can kind of evoke this feeling of hunger in us. But that's just your opinion that I'm interested in. Okay, good. Well, then the next one. Again, talking about food. Everybody loves talking about food, right? Everybody loves food. So talking about it is usually fun. So what I was about to ask you is, what are the most extreme, the wildest food combinations that you have ever tried? It can be the combination of flavors, or it can be the actual combination of some specific foods. You can tell me everything. Well, okay. Is there anything that you wish never happened to you? Yeah, if you, for example, could go back in time and simply prevent something from happening or avoid something, what would it be? Okay. And then, is there any event that you would never ever change, even if you had such an opportunity? I mean, is there any moment, any memory that you enjoy so much that you would never change this moment in your past, or that you would even relive again, would like to experience the same thing again? Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. If you have an argument with your friend, family, your partner maybe, is it easy for you to apologize first? I mean, if you're both equally guilty, or if you feel guilty, would it be easy for you to apologize? Because I know some people who that is really like highly overestimated? Like, who, in your opinion, wouldn't deserve such a like fame or popularity, attention as they actually get? Alright, what was the shortest relationship you've ever had in your kind of like romantic personal life? Yeah, just the shortest. How long did it last? What was the longest one? Or what maybe has been, maybe you are still in this relationship? Okay. What do you think? What are the actual conditions? Like, what are the actual things that can make a relationship last long? What are the necessary things that would like keep it? Okay. Have you ever been in therapy? And if no, would you like to? When it comes to finding a perfect therapist, what do you think? In the first place, for you personally, should this person be like with this kind of like good diploma, qualification and stuff, maybe experience, or is it more important to you that you find this kind of like match, like personal match, and that you feel comfortable with this person? Or like, is it more about some kind of charisma, some other stuff for you? Have you ever had a crush on any of your teachers or professors, like school, college, university, doesn't matter? Have you ever had a relationship with your classmate or colleague? What do you think? What is the actual reason why in many companies the like relationship between the employees are not approved of? I mean, yeah, it's quite obvious, but still. What is your least favorite word? Maybe there is some word that you don't like the way it sounds, that makes you feel annoyed or irritated when you hear it. Okay. Well, then, what about like the word that you use most frequently in your daily life? Yeah, you can think about it. Because very often we don't pay attention to that, right? Once I was at it in my video, and I tried to count how many times I said so. I was so embarrassed. I mean, I still uploaded the video, but I was thinking like, oh my goodness. Like, while I was talking, I was speaking, I didn't even pay attention to that. But then, when you're rewatching and editing, I was like, oh my goodness, that's such a shame. Like, so of your recent Google searches are the most embarrassing for you? Maybe there is something on your recent Google searches that you would rather like not tell anybody. Finally, in case you had to share your computer or laptop with somebody else, would you rather clear the browser history? Is there anything you would like to hide from others? Guess that everybody has such things.